Yo, top of the day to everybody here. First off, I need you to go ahead and grab you a snack, grab you a drink. You know what we're about to do right now. We're about to critically think, enjoy this new episode of Snack Time. Hey, everybody, we're back. You feel me? Whether you see me or not, you know what I'm saying? Whether you watch the first episode, I'm gonna need you to go back to it, watch it so you can understand who I am, what it is, what are we doing here, what's our process, what's the goal of this podcast. To my left, I'm gonna go ahead and let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
How you doing? Hello, world.
Go ahead and speak into that.
Excuse me. Hello, world. My name is Ryan Keith. For all my artists out there, Trouble the Truth. For all my Muslim brothers, Kashif. I just speak with you, and thank you, Snaxx, for having me on here, man. It truly is snack time.
Really, thank you for coming. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all how I met him, and y'all won't believe the whole backdrop and the background story. It's not nothing too crazy, but at the same time, if you believe in what you want to call it, nothing happens as a coincidence.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. Man, let me tell you. So yesterday it happened. One of my keys, he picked me up to go to the masjid so we can break fast and perform my career prayer and enjoy iftar. So I get there, and there's a whole lot of Muslim brothers that are inside of the masjid at this point in time. And I open the door, I look to my right, and I look to my left, and then me and Trouble here, we locked eyes. Immediately. When I tell you immediately, it was almost, I don't know, how would you call it? It was
I wouldn't. I guess it's almost like how would you say serendipity, right? And I think the phrase you were looking for earlier was divine destiny.
There we go.
Right.
Hey, you feel me? He gonna get me right. But when I walked in there, right, and then we made eye contact, it was all love from the front. We both touched our hearts, you know what I'm saying, said our salams to each other, and we kept going. Now, after, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I went out looking for you after the prayer. Like, I got up and I looked to my left immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's gone. I was like, man, I wanted to get his number. I wanted to talk to him.
Crazy.
That's
That's crazy because I walked off to look for you, and I guess when I turned around, that's when we my guys again.
Man,
okay.
Twice.
Okay. That makes sense.
Twice we did it.
That's crazy.
And it was just a beautiful thing. Now, for people that aren't Muslim out there, and it's not just a Muslim thing, I'm not going to say that. But I can always say for myself, every time I did get in contact and I did speak with another Muslim brother, it was always love. It was always we embraced each other.
Indeed.
It was always, and I'm not a person to just go out and hug you for it. I'll dab you up.
Okay.
You feel me? I'll dab up, fist bump anybody in the world. You feel me?
Yeah.
You see me out here? You get a fist bump, you get some dabs. But whenever I see a Muslim brother, when I see one of my keys, it's love, and I feel the embracement of why I want to hug them. I want to show them and open my arm, and it's always been reciprocated at the same time. And I think that's really the biggest thing. It's not that I full blown just don't want to hug other people, but the energy is not there.
Okay.
The energy isn't there for me to really embrace you. And then in this culture, especially in Western society, it's kind of looked frowned upon isn't the term, because obviously people out here are hugging each other, and especially two men or two female, they're both hugging each other. But in the sense of it isn't normalized as much.
Yeah,
if you see a regular Western dude out here, you're not finna just hug them. Like, they're not just hugging. They'll do the whole dab up hug. Yeah. They hit you with the They hit you with one of them. Yeah. But they're not really out here just fully embracing a hug, And what fun story to people that don't know, I moved from my other house, and we were what were we doing? We were moving, and we had to get our new Wi-Fi box. We had an old one. Me and my dudes were really like very, very old school people, if I'm being honest with you. So we didn't know we had an old box though. We did not know. You feel me? This whole time for the past 3 years we had this box. We just thought it was new. Okay. So we moved. Oh, you getting the call? Okay. No, but as we moved on, we get to the new house. We call them up and say, "Our Wi-Fi box not working." It was a Muslim brother that pulled up. Didn't know this at first. And he didn't know at all either. So he's going into my room to find like an outlet to see where he could plug up the Wi-Fi, the little Wi-Fi box. Yeah. And he saw my prayer rug out. He saw my prayer rug on the ground. So he looked at it, he examined it, and then he asked me, like, what is this? You feel me? I told him, this is my prayer rug. That's where I pray at. I'm Muslim. He said, like his eyes sparkle. I think y'all need to understand, like when whatever the dudes, when you look at a girl and then she feeling you and her eyes sparkle, you feel me? In a similar sense, like his eyes glue like.
Okay,
like he instantly knew it was just love there.
Indeed.
And
Indeed.
we embraced each other right there.
Indeed.
We both said our salams, and he gave me the newest router box. He really just supposed to fix our old one. He gave us a whole new one. He gave me his number, said if I ever need anything, hit him up. And to this day, I know I say hello, I check in.
And man, that's amazing that you have that story. I guess it's kind of like universal for everyone, because I have a similar situation that happened, man. It was around the time I was out of work, and I was looking for a job, man. Anyone that was out of work, anybody's out of work, know how stressful it can be looking for a job. And I'm never ashamed of it. I had an X on my back, right? I had recently got exonerated, so I had X on my back. And I wound up going to this interview. And the interview was in this big old tall building, and it was for construction. Okay, I was informed by someone that all I needed was my OSHA card and identification and documents. So I showed up, I'm ready. I'm like, man, I got this. Boom, I'm familiar with the spot, I'm familiar with the place. It feel right, feel nice. And immediately I walk into it, and it's a big old office space. Not intimidated, right? But I'm kind of taken aback. And there's no one there. A gentleman walks in, introduces himself, kind of older gentleman. And he says, I don't think that we have any spots open right now, but I'll get you an application. And he doesn't come back. He sends another gentleman in. This gentleman walks in, hands me the application, gives me an ink pen, and I fill it out. Sit there and do my best. You know how it is when you're sitting there and you fill out the application, you don't know your references off back sometime, and you gotta go back and find your employment history. So I'm doing all that. It took me probably about 45 minutes to fill out this application because it was a lot of requirements. The brother comes back into the room, and I guess he was watching me because he came back in the room on cue. I'm talking when I set the pen down, I guess in my mind how I felt the energy. Your energy is real energy.
Big facts.
Energy is transfer. And it transfers, right? And you can feel it when it moves. So immediately when you walk in the room, the first thing that my heart told my mind was like, "Oh, it's time to get him out of here. It's time," because I guess it's my stature and how I carry myself, right? But when I spoke, it changed everything. So I gave him the application, and long story short, he was like, yeah, we'll put it on file. We'll put it on file. We'll hold it. I guess we'll file 13 it. Right? I mean, shred it. We'll put it on file, right? So I'm like, alhamdulillah. And I turned around. Thank you. He said, wait, what did you just say? I said, alhamdulillah. It's an Arabic term. It's a Muslim term. It means all praise be to God. He said, are you Muslim? I said, alhamdulillah. He said, brother, sit down. Why didn't you say anything? We got positions open there. I said, man, what? Listen, and I'm talking about, man, it was beautiful. Man. It was beautiful. So, yeah, man, like the love from Muslims is genuine. It's real genuine.
And I can attest to that. Now, tell the people, how did you even convert? Were you a revert? Were you born a Muslim? Like how did Islam become a part of your life? And then a double-sided question, not only how did Islam become a part of your life, but what has it done for your life?
Thank you, Snaxx. For real, man, because man,
we critically think over here on Snack Time.
I appreciate that. Well, the way that I came into the fold of Islam, and I am a revert.
Okay.
I am a revert. I was originally born Christian.
Okay.
Baptist.
Me as well.
And my grandmother, we were raised up in the church.
Okay. And
raised in the ways of the church. Had a good fearing God, fearing woman, love her to death. Thank Allah she's still alive. But I was raised up in the church, man. And when I got older, I started to venture out into the streets. And when I ventured out into the streets, it changed my complete lifestyle. And as you know, as we learn in the Quran, it says that your influences and your environments is what cause you to sin. Your influences and your environments is what cause you to sin.
Man.
And these things led to a lot of consequences. So, little backstory: I went to prison the first time in 2010 for monetary instrument abuse.
Now, for the people that don't understand that, go ahead and.
It's just a fancy way to say fraud.
Okay.
It's a fancy. And I said, when I first saw it too, I said, what? I did what?
Hey,
I didn't do this. Right?
Hey, he denied it all. Not guilty.
I'm not guilty, man. Monetary instrument abuse, but it's one thing to think that you're being slick. Slick and being wise and being shrewd are very, very similar things on the same coin, but wisdom is way different. And I thought I was being slick. Okay. So I had opened my own business at 21. And I started to run scams. Started running scams on local businesses and banks and stuff like that. And when they caught me, when they caught me, they locked me up, man. I never forget that the DA, he was kind of taken aback that I was 21 years old, African American male. Once again, look back. So I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana.
I don't know if you can hear it in his accent.
Yeah, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. Yeah. Uptown, but for those who don't know, it's called Central City or the metro area. Central City, and they lock up more people than any place per capita in the world. So I'm sitting there, and this guy, I'm talking about, he has this most condescending look on his face as he's not looking at me, but speaking to me and talking to the judge. Judge, I would just like you to know, I want to take this to trial. I just want to take it to trial because I have a very good chance of beating this. At least I thought. Judge, I just want to let you know to let Mr. Williams know that if he does go to trial, and in the event that he loses trial, I will enforce the maximum sentence back to back to back to back to back. And I didn't emphasize or exaggerate or hyperbole that back to back to back just now. I had 13 warrants. And it started off when I got in the car. I'm talking about, this is crazy. When I got in the police car, I had 2. When I got to the police station for booking, guess what? It added up to 4 more. By the time I got upstairs, it added up to like 6 more. And by the time I went across the river to a whole nother parish or county, I had picked up another one. So it was like 13, but they accepted 6. And if I was to get sentenced, it was 9 years on each one.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Now start adding up.
I'm talking about what? and thank God that they ran everything concurrent, man. But alhamdulillah for that, mashallah for that. But I wound up going to prison at the age of 23. And when I went to prison, man, let me tell you something, man. For people that think like prison is this environment where you have to be physically tough or physically strong, you're right to a degree. But man, strength took on a whole new meaning for me. I'm talking about spiritually strong. I'm talking about mentally strong, right? And I'm talking about emotionally strong. It took on a whole new meaning, which I thought I had. You couldn't tell me nothing. I thought I was the slickest, toughest, smartest.
You feel me?
Right?
You was head hunter.
I'm thinking, what, man? I'm from uptown New Orleans. I'm in here, man. What's up, man? I ain't tripping on this. You know, my dad is such and such. My dad is big skip.
Yeah,
my uncle Russ is skip, but they know what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to come in here and I'm about to manipulate administration, right? I'm about to get my way through this. I'm in a crime syndicate right now.
Yeah, you thought
it's about to be a breeze.
Yeah.
They just gave me 9 years flat. They just gave me 9. Oh, I'm about to make them feel that.
Yeah.
Man, my second day I was locked up in a dungeon. The second day I was locked up. He took me out of general population. I was locked up. I thought I was all this and all that, man. I fell asleep on the job.
Man.
I was doing my first job with something called tier walking. And tier walking, man, it really opened my eyes because for those who've been up there, a tier walker is an inmate who sits on a tier of a cell, and these cells are barred cells, and these are with patients that are called HSU, homicide, suicide.
Okay.
They're trying to kill themselves. Your job is to watch them and keep your eyes on them. And if they're trying to kill themselves, you yell, help, help. And these brothers were really trying to kill themselves. Anything sharp. So they're butt naked with a padded like suit, a padded smock on. Some of them getting food loose. Some of them spitting. Some of them throwing feces all day. Yeah, and you sitting there. And I walk on the tent, I'm like, whoa. But it's early in the morning. And it smells like defecation. Like, I'm talking about, that's one of the hardest things you can get out. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's cool. I just smoked me a little joint.
Right.
This is my second day. I just smoked the joint. I'm good. Man, I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the cell the brother from before I know it. The captain tapping me. He tapped me.
You see that little me? Hey, go ahead and log off that computer.
Yeah, go and log off. And that's kind of, I'm talking about, that had to be the caption to me, because I'm, and he telling the deputy, go ahead, lock him up, go on, lock him up and piss test him. I'm like, what? I'm thinking, go on, lock him up and piss test him. Man, I'm talking about, I pissed in that cup and blew it up. Boom! I'm talking about cup turned gold. I'm talking about, so now here I am.
You said cup turned gold?
It turned gold. It turned gold, man. That's how dirty my urine was, man, you know. But wound up getting locked up. And this part of the lockup process is before you go into the back, which is called the blocks. This part is the dungeon.
Okay.
This is like the middle passage, the crucible, but this is almost the worst part, right? And I'm sitting there, man, and I'm sitting in this dungeon, and these dudes on it till they yelling, ah. I don't know about Christian Coppod, but they bleep this, nigga that, that, your mama this, yeah, suck your dead daddy. I'm talking about, yeah, this going down. I'm like, whoa, I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not intimidated, but guess what? Be honest with you, I am very observant and conscious and cautious of people I'm around.
Okay.
Right?
Gotta be.
So they're feeding me through the cell. And the first time that I ever got pepper spray wasn't my fault. Tripped me out. Man, first time I got pepper spray wasn't my fault. It was pork chop day too. It was pork chop day, brother. Listen, it was pork chop day.
And you know what's crazy is the fact that
let's go over there, right?
People say, because they hear in the Muslim part,
yeah.
then they hear you talk about the pork chop part,
right?
They're like, something's not right.
And this is how I came into the fold of Islam. Right now, I'm still Christian at the moment, you know, and I never negate or take nothing from my Christian background because, man, I've studied and learned so much, you know, and it's a double blessing once you come from another faith, believing in a different prophet, and then you accept Islam. Prophet Muhammad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that anyone that comes and believes in my other prophets before accepting Islam, on them is a double blessing.
Mm.
So brothers like us that was Christian, then we
revert to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
So we get a double blessing, right? So what happens is the brothers yelling, and the brothers are real slick, right? So there's a line of people that's coming. We can't get out ourselves. They're feeding us through the hatch.
Okay.
Feed us through the hatch. And as the brothers are feeding us through the hatch, they must have skipped the brother. Must have. Or the brother took the tray and put it underneath his plate. Underneath his bunk. So this is a 2-man cell. I'm in there by myself. Man, this dude cutting up for that pork chop. They ran out of pork chops on me. I got a Salisbury steak. We call it a hockey pork. Right? I got a Salisbury steak. It's a real thick soy patty. It's not too good, but when that's all you have, it's delicious. All right.
5-star meal right there.
Right. Boom, so I enjoyed my hockey puck. Now I'm sitting there at the front bars. I just been working out. I'm sitting at the front bars, no shirt on, just like jump around my waist working out. This fool, I'm talking about this fool in the cell, not next to me, because next to me in that cell was Booby Black. Shout out to Booby Black, man. We with Kevin Gates, man. That's a real brother, stand-up brother.
Man, you was in there with Booby?
Yeah, I was locked up with Booby Black. I don't even know if he remembered me, but I remember him. You know what I'm saying? We was upstate. We was at Hunts together, man. His brother Trouble, man. Send you that shout out, man. You know, and the brother, he had some amazing, we call EPs, short for episodes. He got some amazing stories about him going into country town and stuff like that. And for a few days, no respect to the brother, but giving him, you know, honor and giving him a lot of, you know, big ups. I didn't know the brother had one arm.
Man.
I didn't know the brother had one arm.
When I first saw him on the little Kevin Gates helpline on YouTube, I saw him with the one arm.
I didn't know that, but the way the brother carried himself was so much, man. I'm talking about, he the real deal. So I'm locked up with the brother, and it's funny, you know, hindsight is 2020. there's this fool, bro, and this guy is in like the cell after Booby. Right. And he cutting up and he got behind this poach out. The chick get quiet. He's still cutting up. Everybody. All of a sudden, you know how metal sounds when it's sliding against the door? It's we got something called the third eye. Third eye is like a little piece of anything with a reflection. You can put it through the cell. You can look this way, and I can see that way, right?
Oh, so he using that.
That's like,
getting the angle.
I can see between the crevices of the cells all the way down. But I ain't got no third eye. I just got up here. So I don't know. I'm the first cell next to the shower.
Oh, he said. And
there's this short guy. He's probably about your height. He's not too short, but he's stocky.
Man, gang. Hey, side note, I'm not short.
Okay. Excuse terminology. So the brother walks in, and he's a lieutenant.
Okay.
First thing I hear somebody say, "Oh, y'all better get right. There go Donkey Kong." I said, "No," and that he coming there like that. I said, "What?" He like, shh. All of a sudden, everybody be quiet. I'm standing at the bars. I noticed. I look down. I noticed the third eye. He disappearing. I'm the first cell. What do you think he did?
Get it?
He stopped at my cell. I'm standing there. I'm from the wall. I still got this chip on my shoulder. He's standing there. I'm standing there looking at him. I'm feeling good. Testosterone flowing through my body. I feel these push-ups.
I just hit 100.
I just hit about 100. You know what I'm saying? Light work, slight work. You know what I'm saying?
Straight.
Straight. Yeah, straight. No, not straight. But he looks me directly in my face. He turns around with one of these. What the f*** you making all the noise on my tip for? I said, man, what you talking about, man? I ain't make no noise, man. I ain't doing nothing. Man, shut the bleep up. Man, say, bro, watch how you talking to me, man. Who you talking to? You talking to me, I'm talking to you. That's who I'm talking to. I mean, man, wrong. wrong. That boy said, oh, yeah? Oh, we got us a smart mother. Beep. Come to the bars to be restrained. I said, what? I heard somebody in the back, he said, come to the bars to be restrained. I heard somebody way down the chest say, don't do it. Don't do it. I swear.
And they instigate that. Don't do it. Reconsider.
Don't do it. Reconsider.
Read some literature on the subject.
Like DMX. Hey, dog's just not working. Hey, dog's just not working. Man. So I'm like, I take advice. I know when it's good.
Oh, he said, all right.
I said, man, I'm not doing that. You better come in here and get me. Boom. He like, oh yeah, he a gangster. I'm getting my chest out. Boy say, so you ain't gonna come? I'm like, no, I'm not coming. Boy said, all right, cool. You ain't gotta come, bro. You know one thing you gonna do. I'm talking about this man was I'm talking about, bro, he must,
wait.
What? He was a ninja. I ain't even think he can move that fast. But you know, years of experience, and man, he sprayed me. First time I got pepper sprayed, man, and it tripped me out. Boom, I sat in that cell for probably 90 days. And at this point, it's the dungeon. They don't come back there. They don't give you shaves. It's too much or nothing, right? And so I had a lot of time for myself. After that, they put me on something called isolation.
Okay.
7 o'clock in the morning, they're going to take that mat from you. You got to lay on iron rock until 10 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting there. I'm talking about, listen, at this point, I done sat there and I done became a cold-blooded lawyer. This is against the constitutional rights of the United States. This is cool.
He do every law at that point, gang. He said, hey, come on, let me call my attorney.
Come on, man. Call my attorney. I need the phone. And they skipping over me for shower. Because once you back there, man, you know, once you in there, man, my grandma always said people do what they want. You know, man, it's hard to get from back there. So, and I'm also saying this because all this played a major part into why I came into Islam.
Yes, son.
It played a major part. I'm not taking too long, am I?
Nah, please.
Okay. I hope I'm not taking too long for you brothers and sisters out there watching, man.
For the people that they need to, I feel like I said before when we had this, when we was walking here, literally y'all know we walked in the rain. We got some wood do, some
the wood do, a little baptism on the way. Yeah.
But that's how I was saying I'm walking here. The point of this podcast, and if y'all check out the first episode, go ahead, check out that first one. Yeah. But it's all about just being authentically yourself and being real to a point where these are things that, you feel me, people don't know about. And when you hear it from a different perspective, because you may hear the stories and everything else, but one thing when you come on this podcast and with any people that's involved in my life, You have to be real. You have to be authentically yourself.
Right, facts.
You have to be yourself. If you're not, I'm gonna read through it. I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna keep it pushing. And I'm gonna move accordingly. I'm not gonna hate you for it. I'm not gonna disrespect you, but I'm gonna move accordingly because you're not authentically yourself. You got some ulterior motive, and I don't have time to play it. Right. So when you come on here and you're telling people this is your story, this is your truth. You feel me? And people have to understand that the movies, you feel me? Because a lot of people, especially you take foreigners for example, that come over here and they're acting like it's the movies when they come out to the Western world.
Yeah,
people's insight on prison is what they see on the TV screen. Right. You feel me? Man, you know what I'm saying? They making little I feel like I'm out of touch.
We talking about making the bricks.
Yeah, you know, they're thinking about the bricks. They're thinking about the dropping the soap. That's your first
instinct. You know, making shakes and stuff like that.
You feel me? That's what they're thinking about. This part here, man, gang, it's different. But please go ahead.
Yeah, it's wow. It was a real eye-open reality. So boom, after about 90 days of sitting there, man, and it's sounding funny as I'm saying this, right? And I'm trying not to use as much conviction in my voice because I don't want to scare people away. Like, but man, see, bro, I'm talking about, I don't know if y'all can really zoom in. Y'all might want to zoom in. My eye jumping right now because, you know, I guess it's the post-traumatic stress. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, it really did affect me in a very negatively positive way, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes you have to get scared straight. You feel me? And after about 90 days, man, of being back there, man, man, I'm talking about when he opened the cell. You ever seen Castaway?
Nah, I never.
Castaway with I think it's Tom Hanks. Castaway with Tom Hanks. Yeah, just Castaway with Tom Hanks.
If y'all watched it, please let me know how it is.
But Castaway, what happened was he got shipwrecked. He was on the island.
Okay.
For like about 3-5 years, bro. Imagine having just kicking it. He was kicking it with a soccer ball, and he started talking to the soccer ball, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? And man, when I came out of that cave, when I came out that cave, my brother had stopped, and he's like, I never forget his name, Brother Talib, man. Shout out to the Brother Talib, man. He was real genuine to me, man. Ever since the first day I met him, and he was like, man, you need something to read, some literature. And they would come in with the little pamphlets and stuff at first. I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. I got my Bible. Right. You know? And what no one knew at that time, I was doing a big old struggle with Christianity. Because where I came from, the jails that I came from, I had delved so much into my spirituality. I still was who I was. Right? Because, you know, you have to be authentic. You have to be real. I still was who I was, but I always had that calling. Right. You know, always answered the call.
Right.
You feel me? Many are called, few are chosen. And only a few are chosen because only a few answer the call. So I always answered the call. And I never forget, man, I was sitting in that cell. I was sitting on a tier on the West Bank. That's when I got that last charge. That's the people that actually sent me to prison too. It wasn't New Orleans. All right, it wasn't New Orleans. Shout out to my city. We still.
You said shout out to my city.
I'm talking about what? Because they put me on probation. You know what I'm saying? But Jefferson Parish actually was the people that gave me that charge, and I got locked up. But when I was sitting there, let me show you how Allah always has something for you. Right. A pastor came to jail. Right? The pastor, he came to jail, and the brother was relatively young, but he was a pastor, and he still was the box. So he was called the pastor with a punch, and he was a genuine brother. And when the brother came in, he was in there for some parking tickets. Right? The brother was giving these sermons, these Bible studies. And the brother really had a gift. You know how when you could just feel something, and I think it's a little deeper than intuition, right? Because, you know, the heart knows things that the mind can't even perceive or can't even begin to fathom. Sometimes you just know in your heart, or you can just feel that energy, right?
Right.
And the brother was a good brother. He was picking people. You speaking, you give me elaboration on this. And I didn't know that when he left, he was gonna do what he was gonna do. Brother said, man, come here, man. Is there anything I could do for you, bro? Cause, man, you get up every day, man, you help me, like, wake brothers up. I was on it, like, cause I knew brothers needed that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even the hardest, they come, they listen, you know what I'm saying? They get in touch with this spirituality, they open up, and you see miraculous things happen in life when you open up to your spirituality. He said, man, anything you want from me, bro. I said, man, maybe I can get the same thing. Maybe I can get the same thing that Elijah gave to Elisha. And in the story, in the Bible, Elisha was the mentee of Elijah. He used to follow him around, and he had a mantle.
Okay.
And before Elijah was taken up into the whirlwind, he asked him, is there anything that you want from me? And Elisha said, I would like a double portion of your blessing. I would like a double portion for you just to bless me, man. That's all I want. Just to give me your blessings, man, that I can keep doing what I'm doing. And that brother bust out laughing when I told him that, and I was sincere. I was serious when I told him that. Like, man, he said, man, come over on the side. I didn't even know what I was asking for. The brother anointed me. He anointed me, prayed for me. And when that brother did that, it took on a whole new meaning. I started getting a concordance about this big, and I'm delving into the old language, right? And I'm going somewhere with this, and I'm delving into this old language, the dead languages, right? So now I'm able to give people a deeper understanding of what these words means, and it's different from a translation and a transliteration. So as I'm saying this, I see God working and showing up in my life, brother. Because we on a tip, and we talking about things and things happening. But when we go into the chapel that they have, when in the jail, not the prison yet, but the jail, these brothers saying the same thing. These pastors off the street, or these volunteers off the street saying the same things that we were speaking. And you see brothers like when the confirmation come, they look back like this. And they look back at you like, man, you was just saying that, man. And I'm like, it ain't me, man. That's all.
Man, all praise to the Most High.
So right before I got sentenced, right before that, I did something that I never did before. Now, you got to know is when you do something that you never done before, that it's going to be a new experience, and you got to pay attention to all of the signs that's coming. Either something good is about to come to tell you to continue on that path. Something bad's about to come. It's going to tell you they don't go that way. Or something shocking is going to hit you to where it's going to stun you, and you're going to be like, I don't know what to do. That's what happened to me, the lather.
Okay.
I'm talking about something shocking happened. I went to a Catholic service for the first time. I said, no, let me go to this Catholic service. Let me see what they talking about, man. Let me go ahead and see what's up, man. Because all my brothers didn't want to go to church today, and it just what happened that the Christian chaplain wasn't there. So I walk in, I sit down, I sit on the first row. I'm focused, I'm ready. And no offense to no race, because we all brothers.
Most definitely.
But this Catholic priest, he started speaking. And when he spoke, he looked me directly in my eyes. When he looked me directly in my eyes, he said, I want to tell you something. He looked around. He said, the Bible can't save you. Man, I'm talking about, listen, you gotta understand, me as a Christian, you know, and I'm giving these sermons, I'm Bible studies. I'm talking about brain literally said, what? I'm talking about, look, and he must have heard my brain say that because he looked directly back at me and said, yup, you heard me. The Bible can't save you. He said, but Jesus can. And I was like, now I'm baffled. I'm like, what? And he was saying that somebody told him that if you find one discrepancy or error in the Bible, you're going to find many. So I'm like, man, I didn't read this thing back. I'm literally looking at the Bible like this.
I'll be flipping through the pages.
I'm like, man, wait, I'm saying, okay. This brother knows something I didn't know. And when the brother was speaking, he was speaking upon the story of when David was running from his son Absalom. And when David was running from his son, I read the story. He went to the synagogue on the Sabbath, and he was hungry because his son was trying to kill him. Right. He was hungry. He was hiding, and he was asking, was it lawful to take the showbread from the table, right, on that Sabbath? Fast forward, he said, now that same story is in the Bible again when the Pharisees and the scribes, they can confront Prophet Isa or the Prophet Jesus, right? May peace and blessing be upon him.
Peace and blessing be upon him.
And when they confronted him, he said Jesus didn't give the same answer as what happened in that story. And I said, what? Went back and rated myself. I said, dang, he ain't lying. And once I read that, God revealed something to me myself, bro. I was sitting there and it was in the book, I believe, I think it was in Judges, or was it Chronicles and Kings? In Chronicles and Kings, there's a part, and many Christians or many brothers that's well read and real study sisters too. There's a part it starts to talk about the kings, right, and what happened in their lives, and it's the exact same stories. I'm talking about word for word in both different books of the Bible, word for word. But when you get to, I think maybe like the 10th chapter, or it was the 10th verse, it's been so long. The story is exactly the same in both books, but the names change. Blew my mind. I said,
Homie said,
man, I must have read it. I stayed up all night. Must have read it probably 20 times. I broke down crying. Because you got to understand, when you structure your life on something, it becomes your foundation, right? And then you start to see that what you were standing on is crumbling. It weakens your faith.
Right.
And before I had went and called my prison time, I asked God to reveal His truth to me. Didn't know once again what I was asking for. So that's fast forward. After the 90 days coming out, looking like Tom Hanks off of Castaway, right? I go into general population, and this is where the story gets good. I'm almost finished. Trust me, I won't keep y'all too long.
Homie said, I'm almost finished.
I have a lot more I can put on, but we're gonna keep it right, short and sweet. So after those 90 days, man, I never forget, man. All right, boom. I go back there. And the first person I see is my uncle. Shout out to Rusty. I killed Skipper, man. It's my uncle, man. One of the wisest people I ever met. And when I got up there, man, he was revered in the streets. You know what I'm saying? He was revered, well respected in the streets in New Orleans, man. Him and my daddy, Glenn Skipper. You feel me? They were well revered in the streets. But what I didn't know, this brother was well revered in prison too. And not for a bad thing. I'm talking about everybody paid homage to him, from the grimiest convicts to the warden. This brother was heavy. I'm talking about, and I was going to see him before I got locked up. And when I seen him, man, I never forget. We walk outside for work call. And man, I'm talking about, I'm looking, and we got these things called hoes, right? And we got these blue shirts on with these straw hats. And bro, I'm digging. And when I look up, bro, I thought I was in slavery. I never been through slavery. I swear, they got nothing but land and acres and field. I'm like, man, these people didn't put me in slavery.
Homie said, ain't no way. Ain't no way we in slavery.
And it kind of hits your soul like, damn, how I end up here? And I see my uncle. He walk up, boom, he carrying a water jug. Stock get built, right? Boom. Boom. Mindset just like that too, right? Boom. Everything around him. You know what I'm saying? Everything around him strong, strength, right? But come here, Neff, give me a hug. He Muslim. He Muslim, brother, I kid. So, boom. Come on, man. Introduce me as my nephew. Yeah, it's my brother's son. Yeah, it's my nephew. Yeah, he showing me y'all. What? Yeah. Crazy. Oh, boom. And the brother not too old. He like, I think at the time he may be like 40.
Okay.
Yeah. So boom, showing me all, boom, we walk down. You're like, come on now. You see me, I see what you built like now. No, you're good. He's like, man, we about to see what you built like now. Come on now. So we start walking down this road. You know what I'm saying? On this 1,000 acres of land. He's sitting there. He's showing me how to work it. He stopped. He said, Neff, man, you miss me that bad? I said, man, what? He like, Neff, I don't think you understand yet, bro. My uncle was locked up for 21 some years. Yeah, he did 21 some piece, yeah.
So he got in at 20 and then he's 40, or he
out now, yeah. I was inshallah, you'll be able to speak. He'll be on the podcast. Y'all get a real, you know what I'm saying, in-depth connection with that brother, man. But the brother went to jail in his 20s. I locked up, man. And boom. He said, man, bro, he said, Neff, I don't think you understand, man. You was just on the other side. Now you in here with me. Man, you miss me that bad? And then it hit me again. I'm like, man, I was just doing me. Man, I'm still trying to keep on that facade. And they like, right. And I never forget he told me this. He said, man, look, I never try to, like overlord your manhood or take anything from you. He said, man, I'll just give you advice. And that's what it is. You can take it if you want. He said, but you have your own mind. He said, but just do yourself a favor and do me one too. Before you make any decision, ask yourself, are you cool with the consequences? And if you cool with the consequences, then by all means, do your thing.
Do it.
Do it. If you cool with the consequences, do your thing. But if you not, he said, man, go ahead and make your different decision and change your direction. He said, don't do it. And that was the first. That was the first of a long journey with this brother. Because he was one of the main reasons I come into Islam.
Okay.
You feel me? Boom. But the very, very, very main reason that I came into Islam was because of my daughter. Shout out to my daughter, man. Ryla Collins. You know what I'm saying? Ryla Takia Collins. That's my baby. That's my love. That's my heart, reason for living. And her name's an acronym. Her mom didn't want me to name her this at first. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to kind of name her after her, which was cute. But Ryla is an acronym, and it stands for Remember I Love You Always. And I wanted the name of that, man, because the lifestyle I was living. You feel me? I just wanted to know that her daddy loved her on always. You feel me? And so boom, I go to prison. My daughter was one. Here's a not so funny fact, but an eye-opening fact. The mother of my child, her father went to prison for life when he was one. He out right now, man. Shout out to the brother, man, Aki. You know what I'm saying? Big Quan, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? My baby girl.
Lot of shout outs.
Yeah, man. You know, man. But he went to prison for life when she was one. My father went to prison for the first time when he was 23. My uncle went to prison for the first time when he was 23. I told you I went to prison the first time when I was what? 23. Didn't even know that, man. We had to break them chains, right? So, boom, nighttime come, and he popped my cell. I'm going on the phone. Call my baby mom, right? Call the mother of my child. When I call her, she answered the phone. You know, brothers, you know, there's different ways that when the phone is getting picked up on the other side, thank God it's getting picked up. The expression that you want to hear, hey, baby, I was waiting on you to call all day. I didn't get that one. This is what I got. What's up? Hey. Now, hear the, like, what's going on? It's like something rubbing against the phone. I'm like, man, why you handling me like that, bro? Come on, love. Why you handling me locked up? You handling me like that, man. You tripping. She like, no, I'm not tripping. Maybe I'm handling you like that because right now, I just got put out from my mama's house and I'm walking to the Covenant house, which is a shelter, with your baby. What you just say? Yes, I'm walking up the street to the shelter right now with your baby. My mom put me out, bro. I'm talking about every, I almost said air almost left my body. I said, what? And the tears started to well up because for my men, my real men out there, my real men, there's always two things in life that we always prepared to do. If it's a problem, we gonna solve it. I don't care if it's a riddle. We gonna take a few days. I got it, brother. I got it. Right? And if something broke, we gonna do what?
Fix it.
And I felt less than a man right then and there. Because guess what? I couldn't solve that problem. I couldn't fix that situation, not from where I was at. And I hung up the phone, felt defeated. Man, that's the first time I felt the lowest in my life. I walked back to my cell and I did some self-evaluation, some introspection, bro. I started beating myself up. And when they say the truth hurt, that was my first time really coming in contact with that for real. True hurt. I started cursing myself out. I'm laying there in my bunk. My cellie, he on top of me. He like, man, you good? I'm straight, fam. Y'all just don't want to talk right now. He like, man, I'll give you some time. We nah, I don't want to talk. I'll holler at you when I'm ready. But that's where I'm at. You feel me? And I ain't even mature enough, you know what I'm saying, mentally and emotionally to even tell the brother, it ain't you. Yeah. It's me. But the brother was in there long enough to know that, man, something going on. When you got off that phone, it wasn't no good news. Right. So he gave me my space and I'm sitting there and I won't fight. I won't fight bad. I won't fight every guard that come through here. I won't fight every dude that passed through here. I won't fight my cellie right now if he jumped down and do something wrong. But guess what? show you how Allah did. Ain't nobody come through. Not one God passed. It's quiet, and the lights went out. Guess who I had to fight? Nobody but who?
Yourself.
Man, nobody but myself. And I'm sitting and I'm dealing with me. Boop, 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 boop. There's a mirror right here.
Man,
right? There's a mirror right here. But I put it in front of myself. And man, I didn't like what I saw. When I seen myself, that reflection, I didn't like what I saw. Right? I said, man, nigga, you ain't no man. How could you call yourself a man? And I'm talking about, with me, words are so profound that when I said it to myself, I answered myself. I said, you right. You right. I'm talking about, I'm dealing with myself over here, but I'm saying it verbally to myself, you right. And I was just looking at the ceiling, but really the bunk. I'm like, man, you right. I ain't no man. And it's a true saying that if you ask, then you should find an answer, right? Anytime if you ask, then it shall be given. Excuse me. And the only way to get a answer is to ask a question.
Right.
And the first question I asked myself was, man, what is a man? And that's another podcast for another time.
Man, is it? We can go ahead.
You feel me? I'm talking about, yeah. And that's a whole part of this journey too. And I'm not gonna keep y'all long, like I said. And once I asked myself that question, I'm talking about, bro, it's like something did this. It's like my soul and my heart and my mind agreed to find the answer to this question, right? What is a man? What is a man? So boom, I'm searching for this, but I'm not asking nobody verbally, but only, I take that back, I asked my uncle. I said, Uncle, see, I see you over there in deep contemplation, man. I said, yeah, man. I explained everything to him. He said, yeah, enough. That's why we got to be there, man. And a lot of times, brothers, before we go to prison, we think because we getting this money in the street life and we doing this and we got a girl, we think everything be set up, right? But we ain't set up everything. We ain't set everything up for her because we didn't impute and give her everything that she needs to survive fully. You feel me? That lifestyle. And then she got to go do it on her own. You feel me? Because if you was being a man right there, you'd be provided. I said, so you saying a man provide? Yeah, a man does provide. But that don't mean that's what a man is. See, a man's just not a provider. A man's multiple things. And one thing I love about my uncle, he never gave me a direct answer when he knew I could find on my own through life experiences.
All right.
You feel me? So what happened was, he was like, you know what, that's a good question too now. When you find out your answer to that, come back and tell me. I wound up getting let out of let back into general population. Funny thing was, the same day I got let back into general population, I did one of the hardest things in my life. I went on a silent fast. As you can see, I'm very loquacious.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I went on a silent fast. And at the end of the day, the cell opened. He said, come on, man, you're going back to general population. And when I went back to general population, my uncle was going back. He was already back. Welcome me back. We hit that iron pile, get my mind right. Boom. So now I'm checking him out. You know what I'm saying? How everybody in general population, they respecting him, right? So I'm like, okay, this is what I want right here. I want this right here. And he invited me to a Juma. Invited me to a Juma. I felt it. I liked it. Then he invited me to a Talim. I enjoyed it. I liked it. And as he invited me to this, one of the things that happened,
like, what's going on?
Yeah, one of the things that happened was when he invited me to this meeting was, I noticed these brothers were answering every question I ever had. Because, you know, coming to Christianity, I accepted, but I still had questions. And I was, it's not saying anything bad. This word doesn't have a negative connotation to it. But what I'm saying is, it's kind of dogmatic. Some ways of life are dogmatic, meaning it is the way it is because I say what it is and don't question it. You know, a lot of us, our grandmothers tell us, don't question God.
Right.
Don't question God. But it's different when you ask him a question. See? It's different when you asking God a question. If you look through the Bible and all the religious texts, all the prophets ask questions. Right. That's how you get answers. Right? And I was sitting there and I was always questioning. Like, man, if they got one God, then why they saying there's Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost? I was still Christian at the time, but I wasn't revealing this to everybody. I'm like, man, that always like kind of like, right? And man, if God is all loving and all merciful, then why I gotta get punished, right? For something somebody did in the beginning of time. Why I gotta be born into sin? I don't think that's fair, right? I never said that, right? And also, I'm not truly a bad guy. It's just some things I was doing in my environment. And like you spoke on yesterday, I chose the lesser evil to do some things. And if God know me better than know myself, then I know myself. He know I'm not a bad person. Why I gotta go to hell forever? See? And these brothers went to answering these things. And they just went to answering it. I'm showing them everything, every day, right? With my Bible in my hand, ready to go to war. I'm going to war with a sword, with a knife. I was talking about ping, 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 chopping in there, ping, ping. And I couldn't fight it. And I couldn't fight it. And I was holding on as much as I could. And one day I went to talk to the chaplain and ask some questions for him. And I had every question I asked this chaplain, his brother did not answer. So you have a law work. As I was leaving out, the imam was coming in, and the brother Talib, who was with me, who also gave me my name, he was coming in. And he was like, brother, are you well? You good? And it's like when you're at that point where you can't lie.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm not. Imam Nashif, Imam, he told me come on in. Excuse me, it was his brother Hanifi. He told me come on in. And sat down, and the brother answered every question I had. I'm talking about every question I had. He answered it. And I knew it to be true because my heart told me it was true. Now when you just know with your heart, you just know, right? And then he had proof through the Quran and history. Long story short, man, the brother Talib, he was trying to find something in one of the Arabic texts, Islamic texts, and he couldn't find it. But soon he opened the book, wow, the second book, it landed on a page. The brother said, alhamdulillah. I didn't know what it meant at the time. The brother said, man, that's for you. And it was an ayah that said, today I have chosen Islam for you as your religion. And bro, I'm talking about, I'm big on stuff like that. I said, what the?
Hey, talk to him.
I said, man, come on, man.
Talk to him.
This has to be God. This has to be my higher self, right? This has to be the universe, right?
Man.
Which are all creations of Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there was nothing but Allah that was speaking to me, man.
Beautiful.
And I took my shahadatain, man. And I've been Muslim, happy to say, man, going on 14 years now, man.
Alhamdulillah. Mashallah. Mashallah. That is a beautiful story. And I'm glad you did share it. Being here this whole time. And like I said, for the people that is watching, that stay, you know what I'm saying, you still here, you looking at this. As I told him before, and you can attest to it, because he asked me about questions. He was like, man, do you have any questions, you feel me, that I need to come up with so I can kind of have a general thought. And this is for you. This is for y'all in the back. I don't have no questions. There's no pad here. There's no nothing.
That's real.
You feel me? When I think of this, I think of conversation.
Okay.
When I think of, if we didn't have none of this, take away the microphone, take away the camera, take away the laptop, take away this selfie stick, take away all of it. Yeah. This is a conversation we would have in the masjid. Indeed. This is a conversation we would have over a plate of food. This is the type of conversation we would be having. You feel me? So if y'all eating your snack, this is you enjoying it. You got the little drink. We fasting, so we, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But after Ramadan, inshallah, I'll be joining y'all with my snacks. You know what I'm saying. I got me some snacks too. But I say all that to say that I appreciate the authenticity that you bring here. I appreciate you for sharing the story behind it, because everybody's journey is different. And you also, I want to commend you. You didn't attack Christianity, which is something that I can admit to, that I feel like sometimes that's not my intention. Allah knows my intention is never to attack Christianity, but sometimes it may come off as I am attacking it. And the same way you had questions, I had questions. And that's what was in my head. But when I would ask these questions, people become defensive, and it made me feel like I was really attacking them. So then it made me adjust. It made me afraid to ask the questions, because I really love people. You feel me? As I said at the end of the episode, as I tell everybody, I love y'all. I love everybody on this earth. I feel like, and my girl, my girl and her sister thinks is so funny, but I laugh. So I used to have a spider. I used to live with a spider. Okay, now like an actual spider.
Pet spider or just
no.
spider?
No, it wasn't a pet spider.
You adopted it. Was an okay.
So here right now, right? So I used to have. I call him a pet spider. I call him Spidey.
Okay, cool.
He used to live up there. Obviously, y'all can't see it, but it's like my little window.
Yeah.
And there's a spider. There's a jumping spider who always comes around. Maybe when I talk about it, he usually comes out, which is kind of crazy. But Spidey.
You talking about that spider, right? Man, no, you talking about that spider. Man, nah, bro. You talking about that spider that's a dot. And there's a spider underneath. Boy, you okay. You gotta teach me that one. You gotta see how you do that. Man, that's crazy.
I don't know if that's Spidey or not.
Man.
So if he moves from that spot.
Okay.
Then we could really tell. But I say that because I know people like, what do you mean you live with a spider? Like that's like why don't you kill it? I've now, because of Islam, I've adopted I did not take part in anything to create that life. I had no power over it.
Okay.
So I have no power to take its life. Now don't get it twisted, y'all. I'm being for real. If this spider was to jump on me and try to offend me, I'm gonna swipe it. And then if it did come out of nowhere, instantly I'm gonna slap it.
Yeah.
But if I have the choice, I'm not killing the spider because the spider didn't do nothing to me. The spider was here before me.
Right.
Before this building came, this spider was here. So it's those type of mindsets. But I bring that up and bring up Spidey and everything else because like when me and my girl and I told them that, they were laughing. You know what I'm saying? It is funny because it's like, yo, what the heck? Like you're living with a spider. Like, man, I hope you know what I'm saying? She was like, I hope you kill the spider when I'm there. You feel me? I'm like, I'll protect you. You know what I'm saying? I'll protect you, babe. Don't worry, I got you. But I wanted to bring that up just to emphasize and highlight the peacefulness, the beauty within Islam in itself, where when we look at each other, right, and we go all the way back to the beginning of how we say like we embraced each other. You feel me? And how we looked at each other and everything else. And for y'all that don't know, for y'all that really don't know, every time I walked into the masjid, any person I ever met, who was at the table with 5, 6, and everybody at the table, you would have swore at least 5 to 3 times, 3 to 5 times, somebody asked, did y'all know each other?
Know each other, yeah. Like it was just been knowing each other, yeah.
They was like, do y'all two know each other? They asked if we knew each other. And I was like, do they know each other? But that's how it clicks in Islam. It clicks so much. And we start to, you would think that we met for 2 minutes, you would think we were brothers. Though we knew each other for years. You know what I'm saying? Right. And even now, right? Because again, keeping it being, I tell my girl this, I don't expect nothing from nobody. So it was no disrespect to you when I said I went you on a podcast and you said, yeah, okay. But I didn't expect you to hop on the podcast.
I didn't expect you to ask me, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I didn't expect that, man. And I actually got the text this morning.
Right.
And when I looked at it, I was like, man, alhamdulillah, man. And to be honest with you, it's something I've been wanting to do. And you didn't know that. And I told you, I was just telling Snaxx, I said, man, look how Allah answers your prayers. He said he's swift in his account. He's swift when it's account. When you think about, accountability is responsibility, and we are Allah's responsibility, right? So his ability to respond is swift. So he's swift in his account, he says in the Quran. And I had just asked him, because I'm actually, we're out of town right now. I'm not from here. We're in a different state, right? And the brother's attending school. So it's kind of like he's from a different state. I mean, a different part of the state.
Fact.
So, for it all to come full circle like this, I had just prayed maybe like 2 days ago. And I asked Allah to send someone into my life, right? That's going to be able to help me and I can help them to where we can actually start giving messages into the world. We can actually start feeding the people. Snack time, right? Like, for real, I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's food for thought, right? And for you to come and we to click just like that.
Instantly.
I'm talking, man, genuality, man. That's nothing but God, man. And like I said, like when we looked at each other, it was serendipity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And there's another word, synchronicity, right? For all this to fall in place like this, right? And serendipity, is and this is just for the kids that's maybe watching, right? You can go and look this word up. But serendipity is when you find something that's of value to you when you weren't even looking for it. Boom. You feel me? And how we found each other just like that, right? Man, I truly appreciate the opportunity, man, to give my story to the world.
Not at all.
And hopefully,
Thank you.
Thank you. And then thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, man. Hopefully, it inspired many people. If anything that I said was offensive, man, sole blame is on me, and forgive me for that. If anything that I said was inspirational, then all praise be to the Most High, man. Man, I appreciate the Snaxx.
Nah, I appreciate you. And like I said before we finally tune out, again, I wanted to say thank you again for everything. I take time as something that we would never be able to get back. You feel me? I don't know what today, I think it's April 5th. Yeah, April 5th, yeah, whatever time it is. We would never be able to get April 5th, 4 o'clock. I don't know if it's 4 o'clock or not, but yeah. April 5th, 4 o'clock, we would never be able to get that.
Yeah, you're going on 5. Yeah.
Oh, for real? Oh, look at that. Yeah. But like this, we will never be able to get this time back. This day will never come back. This minute, this second will never come back. So I fully, bro, appreciate you for taking time out of your day, walking. I don't think people understand. We both walked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Walked a cool little distance to come here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Getting rained on and everything. But it's the sense of I knew what I wanted. I knew I wanted to be consistent with this podcast. I knew I wanted to bring people on the podcast that can give game and give knowledge and give a whole different perspective. You know, a lot of different attributes and a lot of different things. People, I could come on here and try to be super funny. You know, I could try to be somebody that I'm not. You feel me? And you can attest to this, even though you only met me for a day, which is not even a day, which is again crazy.
It hasn't even been
a whole 24 hours in day since we met to get to this point. But I've been the same person from off here to here in the same way. And that's the same thing I told him. You feel me? Just be yourself. And to everybody that's watching this, you feel me? That's what this podcast is for, and this is what I'm here for, is to show you that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be yourself. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. Nobody's perfect but Allah. And that's something that I want to really portray here. So if you feel like whatever you want to do, whether you want to start a podcast, start a YouTube, get on TikTok, become a model, become a doctor, anything else with your profession, understand that you can do it. Understand that you bring something completely different. You was 1 out of 5 billion, I believe, sperms, yeah, that made it out of here. So do you not believe that you're worth something? Do you not believe that you're special? Do you not believe that there's a purpose for you being here? You have to understand that you are. And if you needed somebody to give you a push, then we're here. You feel me? If you needed somebody to show you, you feel me, that it's okay, then I'm here for that. He's also here. He's showing you that it's okay to be yourself 100%, regardless of what happened. You feel me? I'm gonna always be me, and I want you to always be you. And whoever accepts you, cool. If they don't, it's okay. You feel me? But at the end of the day, y'all are loved. I love you. He loves you. Allah loves you. Indeed. So until next time, enjoy your snack time.